Are you going to have to walk up here? We're live. Hello everybody. I'm Brett from Stir Crazy Cooking School, and we've decided to give you guys a couple of sessions of our cooking experiences. Just bear in mind this is our first session. We know techies, so if something falls apart other than the cooking, then we apologize. We'll try and get it up and running quickly. Brenda, my wife here, is doing the filming.
Hello.
And we've got Mika, who's checking your guys' messages coming through. So yeah, the reason we're doing this, firstly, is to get you off your couch and into the kitchen, and secondly, to show you guys a couple of ingredients that recipes that you guys can do from home using hopefully all the ingredients that you have at home. And if you don't have the ingredients, we're going to show you how to make similar ingredients or matched ingredients that you can actually use in your kitchen. Another reason we're doing this, guys, is obviously everyone's on lockdown. There's a lot of restaurants that are probably not going to open again. There are a lot of restaurants that will hopefully survive this period, and when they do open, they're going to need some support. So we're going to be asking you guys, if you feel like it, support one of your local restaurants or donate on our Facebook page. We have a Facebook page with our bank account details. Even if it's £5, it all helps to that, and it also just helps us get back on our feet and support our staff during this period. So if you can do that, it'll be fantastic. Thank you very much. To start off with, firstly, always have a glass of wine in your hand when you start cooking. And cheers to that. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do 5 recipes a week. So each day we're going to be doing a recipe. So I'm giving you 2 recipes today, which will combine into a single meal. Tomorrow Jody's going to be online and he's going to start doing a bread making course. So we'll have 2 days of bread making and probably 3 days of cooking recipes. So you guys can also go onto the website. All the recipes will be posted onto the website, and also these videos are going to be edited and put onto our website, so you can actually download everything. So all you have to do is grab a glass of wine and watch tonight, so you don't have to actually follow all the bits and pieces. I'm going to go through things in detail, and we'll get cooking. Please join us, please share, tell everyone about it, and let's get going. So the first recipe we're going to do is a kimchi. Now, you ask yourself, what is kimchi? Kimchi it's probably one of the most delicious things I've discovered in the last while. It's a Korean dish, and it's made from a whole bunch of different veggies, like cabbage and carrots, which I'll go through with you now. And the nice thing about kimchi is it's got a whole lot of probiotic properties, so it's very similar to kombucha. So you guys who drink kombucha, you'll find that obviously it does a lot of good for you. It cleanses your skin, it cleans your gut, it really just helps sort of digest things properly. Kimchi has the same sort of thing, and it also has a whole bunch of immunity properties. So this will also help obviously building your immune system. So this is why we've chosen one of these recipes today. And then
Derek wants a glass of wine. Mia says glass of wine check. Rachel says, can you deliver wine to my front door, please?
Okay, so we'll start a wine delivering service with our cooked meals going forward.
Wine and food, Greg says.
Okay, so let's look at the recipes quickly. The first thing we're going to do is kimchi. So if you can come here a little bit closer. Some of these ingredients you may find, and some you might not have at home. First thing I've got is this is a Japanese rice wine, which I use, and it's used for flavoring sushi. Then I've got a bit of mirin. So mirin is a fermented rice wine, which is actually quite sweetened. So these two go really well together, and I often use these. Well, basically use it for flavoring sushi. Then we've got a little bit of brown sugar. We've got cabbage. I've got fish sauce here. If you don't have fish sauce, you can use salt, because salt is quite important in the preserving process. Then I've got ginger. I've got some chopped carrots, and then I've got radish. There's a little bit of yellow pepper, some cucumber, and I'm going to show you how to slice all of these things. And then I've got an interesting thing, which is seaweed. So you might not have seaweed, general seaweed at home. When you eventually get out, please go and pick some seaweed. It's very healthy for you. This is the one that I've got. It looks like that. But you can also take a sheet of nori, So this is nori that you can buy in any spa, and you can actually just chop this up and put it into your kimchi as well. It works really well. Okay, so let's start off. First thing you need is a clean jar which says kimchi on it, which you can, these jars you can buy wherever. And yeah, literally you can mark it whichever way you want. And then I'm going to start putting the ingredients in there. Now, kimchi needs to rest for at least 24 hours. Ideally, you should only start using kimchi after about 2 days. And that allows the preservative to infuse into all of your ingredients, and it gives it this really nice flavor. So this is what a bottle of kimchi looks like that's sitting in our fridge. We've actually got quite a lot of liquid in here. You don't really need that much liquid. But you can see there's my seaweed floating around. There's cabbage, there's preserves. It's delicious. Okay. So we're going to start off. I'm just going to start off chopping some cabbage. And the easiest way to do it is just take the main rib off the cabbage. And you can actually just fold these leaves up like this. Right? And slice it very thin, just like you're going to julienne everything. Just make sure you don't slice your fingers off, please. You're using very sharp knives, so if you see anything red in here and it's not tomato, then yeah. Okay, so
shout out to our Wusthof knives, right?
yes, we use Wusthof knives. They're fantastic. We also sell these knife sets if anyone's interested.
Oh, okay. Got you on a roll now.
Right, so I'm just going to chop up a couple of bits of cabbage here. And
the claw, Jody says.
The what?
The claw.
The claw, okay. Alright, so Jody mentions a claw. So the claw is, I'll show you what a claw is.
Jody's our chef.
So when you grab your knife, just to show you, this is a typical chef's knife. Okay, it's rounded, and the reason it's rounded is so that you can actually rock it on your plate. So it's that sort of motion. Okay, so this is the claw. You grab your hand and you pull your fingers in like a claw. So you run your knife along your knuckles like that, so it doesn't take your fingers off. So that's the claw process that Jody is referring to.
Thanks, Jodes.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's the cabbage done. That should be enough cabbage. I'm going to stick that. In fact, let's just put this all into a big bowl. Stick that into a bowl, and then I'm not going to show you how to chop a carrot, but basically your carrots should be nice and fine and julienne like that. That goes in as well. And then radishes. Radishes you can chop up really fine. I used a mandolin for this. If you don't have a mandolin, obviously you can just chop that up. I don't have my mandolin here. Grab my mandolin. Then we've got cucumber. So what we're going to do with the cucumber is we're going to slice it so that we don't get the wet part in there. So we're going to take this and just slice it nice and thin like that until you get to the wet part, and then you can just stop. Then we're going to take this and then julienne that as well. And also, if these things are a little bit long, I like cutting them down so that when you actually make or use your kimchi, you don't get all these long strands. They're nice and fine strands. Oops. There we go. So that's the cucumber in that. My yellow peppers. Rest of my cucumber. And then the seaweed. So the seaweed I mentioned looks like this. If you can't find any seaweed, as I said, you can use nori, but I'm just going to chop this one up. We're actually going to use the nori in our main dish a little bit later. Okay.
Tell them where they can buy that seaweed and how to do that.
Yeah, seaweed you can buy at most Asian shops. So places like mainland China, in Claremont. Another place is, there's also a Chinese shop in Sea Point that you can buy from. Otherwise, yeah, literally go and pick it yourself. And what you need to do is obviously, if you do pick it yourself, just let it soak in salt water overnight, and then let it soak again in just plain water after that. Right, move that. Okay, so that's pretty much most of my ingredients in there. Oh, onion. Onion's an important ingredient, so I'm just going to take this onion. And we're just going to do some really fine slices. Just like that.
Let's see.
Okay, here we go.
Thanks for that.
Right, and then lastly we're going to take ginger. Now when I work with ginger, you can actually just grate ginger without taking the skin off. So you don't have to skin the whole thing. What I do is you just take it on one of these fine settings and you just grate it like that, and all the skin and all the fibrous bits actually stay behind. So you can see all of this stays behind. Right, and what you get inside is this really nice juicy ginger, which is fantastic. Okay. Right, then we're going to take garlic. Just hammer your garlic like that, and that literally allows you to peel it. I never use a garlic crusher. I find that they don't really work that well for what I need. So you can actually just hammer it a little bit, get some juices out, and then you're just going to chop that up fine as well. So you can slice it up so it's almost minced. And this gives a lot of the flavor to the kimchi. So you'll find that every now and then, you know, you get this like sort of garlicky flavor coming through in your kimchi. But a lot of the garlic is absorbed by all of the salt and preservatives that you're putting in there. Not preservatives, preserving agents, sorry. Right, and then lastly a bit of chili. So I'm going to take some chili. You're just going to push the seeds out. And this is quite a hot chili. Guys, if you are using chilies, just make sure that you test your chili. And a quick way to test your chili to see if it's seriously hot is you slice it open like this. And you just take a little bit on your thumb and stick it on your finger. And that'll give you a good indication of how hot your chili is. This one is hot.
Sip of wine.
That's very nice. Okay, so I quite like hot chili in my kimchi. And at the end of the day, you're not going to get a lot of that hotness coming through, because obviously it infused through everything. All right. So that's all the ingredients for the kimchi. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of mirin. So there's probably, depending on how much you've got in here. So let's just mix this up nicely.
And all the recipes are on the Facebook page.
All the recipes are on the Facebook page, yeah. Or not on Facebook, on our website. Sorry, on our website. Yeah. Okay. So in fact, what I'm going to actually do is I'm not going to put the ingredients in here. I'm going to stick these into the bottle, because I don't think all of this is going to fit in. So I'm going to take this and you just shove it into the bottle like that. Make sure that you're getting obviously bits and pieces of everything. And guys, this can be used in salads. It can be used, the other day we had it with
eggs.
Our omelets. So you can actually put it into an omelette.
You get addicted to it.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It really is good. Yeah. So you can see we're not going to fit all of that into there. So let's just clean that one up a little bit.
Oh, Nats, loved it too, my angel. So glad you joined us, baby. You're going to try this one.
Okay, so I'm going to take mirin. There's not a lot of mirin. There's probably about 100 mils of mirin in there. And mirin is a bit of a sweetness. Then I'm going to take the vinegar. We need quite a bit of vinegar into that. So I'm going to literally watch it until it fills up to almost about half. And you can use any kind of vinegar. I would suggest you don't use a white wine vinegar because that's quite strong, or a white spirit vinegar. This is quite a mild vinegar. And you can
Kevin
also
wants
use,
to know how long it lasts.
This can last, 2 months in your fridge. I've had it in my fridge for ages. In fact, it'll never last 2 months in your fridge, so it'll last maybe a week.
Because you'll just eat it out.
It's that delicious. Yeah. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Sorry.
In terms of vinegars, so don't use any white spirit vinegar or wine vinegar. Use a softer vinegar like this rice vinegar. A really nice one is a condiment vinegar. which you can buy in Pick and Pay somewhere. Why don't you grab the condiment vinegar from the thing, please?
And that says she's a fan of health benefits of a probiotic, so this is like
Fantastic.
super.
Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of chili oil. This is a homemade chili oil, which is really delicious. And then one of the main ingredients is fish sauce. So if you don't have fish sauce, as I mentioned, you can use salt. And also if you're vegan, you can just add salt as opposed to fish sauce. And I'm putting quite a bit of fish sauce into that. Okay.
Is it this one?
That one there. Okay, so this is a white condiment vinegar. That's actually a really delicious vinegar, and it's quite, you'll find it's quite sweet and palatable compared to your other vinegars that you get in town. Right, so there's your kimchi. Shake that up a little bit, and that can stay in the fridge for the next 48 hours. Okay, so what we're going to make, the next recipe is, it's a kimchi and beef stir fry with egg. Okay, so this is quite a typical Korean dish as well. What I've got here is I've got ingredients for a sauce. Sorry, this is the mandolin that we showed you earlier.
Show them how it works.
I'll show
Just
you
pick
our
it up.
mandolin. Do you want to see people slice my fingers off? Okay, so mandolin
Trying to get
literally.
it. Okay, I'm trying to get the lighting here.
Okay, get this, come in, zoom
Okay,
in.
good.
Here.
Zoom in.
Okay, so you literally, you can
Best
put it on very
slicer
light
ever.
set. It's a very, very nice thin slicer, but this blade is sharper than any knife you've experienced. So you can see, you can get these really nice.
Beautiful. You've never
little-
tasted cucumber like that on one of those.
Yep. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do first
Thanks,
is
Rose.
we are going to, I'm going to show you what meat we're going to use and slice the meat, and I'm going to introduce you to the ingredients. So there's a whole sauce that goes into here. So first off, we've got some grated ginger. You can come in closer here. There's this gochujang sauce, which is this guy, which you might find in some shops, the Korean shops. If you don't have this, it's actually a really delicious sauce. It's actually a chili paste, a Korean chili paste. The best option, if you don't have that, is to work with something like tomato sauce, okay, which works really well. Add some sriracha to that, and add grated ginger, and that will probably get the closest thing that you can to the gochujang sauce. Okay, so that's this gochujang paste here. We've got some chili flakes, we've got some minced garlic, soya sauce, and guys, when you're using soya sauce, please only use the Kikkoman soya sauce. You get a whole lot of soya sauces that are on the market that are really, I wouldn't say dodgy, but they're cooking sauces, and this one, yeah, this you can have in sushi, and you can use it on anything. Then I've got a bit of rice vinegar here, and then sugar, and that's going to make up our sauce also with a bit of sesame oil. Ideally, you want to get a brown or a dark sesame oil. This one isn't, unfortunately, because that's all I have in my cupboard, but it'll do. Okay. Right, then, so I'm going to start preparing that stuff for you, and then I'll show you how to put that together. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take some meat. So we're just going to slice of beef here. And what you want to do with your beef is to actually take all the sinews and fats and things off. So I'm just going to take that off and slice that away, and that's what our beef is going to look like at the end. And you can see the grain is running with the beef like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to slice the grain to the grain, and we're just going to slice it up into little strips like that. And this is going to form part of our stir fry. Okay. So this needs to marinate. So we also we make a marinade, this is on your recipe, but I'm just telling you about it now. So your marinade is ginger, also a bit of gochujang sauce, and rice vinegar, and there was something else, and a dash of soya sauce, and that makes up this guy. So this meat has been marinating for about probably half an hour in the fridge. So I'm going to use that meat, and we're going to put this aside for another time. So as I said, what's in here is ginger, that paste, a bit of the rice vinegar, and some soya sauce. Okay, so that's all ready to get going. So let's put the paste together firstly. Sorry, this marinade. I'm just going to add some sugar, all my sauces. And also this is honey. Sorry, I forgot to mention honey. Soya sauce. Some honey. And the honey is going to give it a sweetness, but it's also going to stick and will thicken in your stir fry. So it actually creates this nice sort of thick sauce. It's a nice way of thickening your sauce. My chili leaves, garlic. Now, I use quite a lot of chili leaves here. Obviously it depends on you how hot you like your dishes or not. Ginger, I also like a lot of ginger. So I think in the recipe it uses about half this amount, but that's me. I'm a ginger fanatic. And then lastly the gochujang sauce. Now this you're going to have to sort of scrape off because it's quite thick, and we're going to mix it into the bowl like this. And this is what is going to add to our stir fry, just to flavor the whole thing a little bit later. I'm actually going to add a little bit more soy sauce to this. But that's worked in nice. You can see this nice deep red in that sauce. And that's going to go deliciously well with the wine we're drinking tonight.
Which is?
Cheers again. Now this is a Cabernet, it's a Cloud Fall. It's a really delicious one. Let me show you what it looks like. This guy here,
Yeah,
it's about, I think it's probably about 70 or 80 rand a bottle. It's fantastic stuff. Okay. Right, so that's our marinade. Or not sorry, our marinade, that's our stir fry sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up my cooker. And these are quite nice little handy cookers if you actually ever get to them. You literally plug it in, switches on like that, and off you go. I'm going to add a dash of some olive oil. This is a really nice one, the Willow Creek one. So the ingredients that go into my stir fries, I've got my kimchi, which I've already made, and make sure you drain it, so get all the sauces and things out. Okay, I've got my meat here. We've got some onions. So the first thing we're going to do after frying the meat is the onions. I've got some peanuts, and I've got some spring onion that I'm going to slice up. The first thing we're going to do is get this nice and smoking hot, and then we're going to fry up the meat. I'm just going to pour off some of this excess marinade. Okay. You can see this is nice and smoky hot, so I'm just going to add the meat into that. Just get that so that it browns nicely. While that's browning, I'm actually just going to slice up these, and I'm going to slice them up so that they're a bit like a stir fry, so I'm going to julienne them. Another thing, guys, you can use the entire spring onion. A lot of people ask me, where do I stop? And literally you can use anything. This tastes exactly the same as that. It just depends on what you're looking for in your dish, what the whole thing looks like at the end. Okay. So I'm just going to slice these up nicely. Now the one thing that I didn't mention is that we're adding noodles to this dish. And I've already made the noodles, but I'm going to chat to you about that shortly. You can use pretty much any noodle. The Koreans like this glass noodle, and I've got a glass noodle which you can also buy. It's quite expensive. I think you're looking at about 50 or 60 rand a packet. And that packet looks like this. See here, it says glass noodle. It's a bit like Chinese. Right, so we're doing the glass noodle tonight, but as I mentioned, you can use any other kind of noodle.
So these are the different ones, yeah?
These are some nice egg noodles, and these ones are actually quite cheap. You can probably get the packet of this for about 10 bucks. You can even go down to these little things. Please just chuck away the packet in there. It's full of MSG and stuff, which you don't want. And then these are udon noodles that you can also buy at any sort of Chinese store. Okay. Sometimes you can also get these in spas. So these are your different noodle options. So the noodles that we've got, the cooked ones, this is what they look like. Okay, so they're like these really nice, well, this one stuck a little bit together, really nice glass noodles. Okay, and that's going to go into our stir fry. We're going to mix all of that in there. Okay. Right, so this meat's just about done. I'm going to take the meat off, add a little bit of oil, and then we're going to put our spring onion in there. Right. While it's getting nice and hot, I'm actually going to add this into there as well. So that's the first thing that goes in is the onion. Get those to soften nicely. I love the smell of cooking onion, and when you're working with, like, especially Thai cooking, you're adding things like chili and garlic and ginger, and it creates this fantastic aroma around the house.
Yummy.
Anyone else have any questions?
Big comments. Kevin says, I wish I could smell all those amazing smells. Delicious. I'm salivating, and I'm actually so glad that I'm really getting a dinner out of this afterwards. So sorry guys, I'm really going to be eating this. Thanks to you.
So
Derek said sounds yummy.
Onions in there. The kimchi goes in.
Kimchi now.
And I'm going to add my sauce. So you're literally chucking all of that sauce in.
Yeah.
Mix that up nicely.
Derek can almost smell it. Sorry, darling. We're going to save one evening with that for you, okay?
Okay, let that cook really nicely. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry an egg, because an egg goes really nicely on top of this. Okay? So I'm going to put an egg in there.
See, you can multitask.
Add a little bit of oil.
Super impressive.
But yeah, I can chew gum and cast a shadow at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, so you're just going to crack 2 eggs in there. Okay, so this is cooking really nicely. I'm going to add my meat back into that. Mix it up. Now there's 2 ways to serve this. Some people say that you should actually add your noodles in there, and that's going to flavor it. Otherwise you can actually put your noodles into a bowl. Which I'm not going to do. I'm actually going to add the noodles into that. I'm going to take all of my noodles, mix those up nicely. Right, so we're going to get this going. So you want your noodles to actually mix really well into your...
Delicious, maybe.
Okay, so put some balances. You can put any ingredient you want into here. So instead of using beef, you can use tofu. You can add chicken into here. But I mean, look at that. That looks fantastic. Beautiful. And it smells awesome. Okay, so another thing about kimchi, when you're actually putting it into a dish like this, you lose a lot of the sourness of kimchi.
Good idea,
but you're still
Liesl.
getting all your flavors in there.
Liesl's just changed the evening meal to stir fry with glass noodles and wine.
Cheers to that.
Tanya wants to know how long does one marinate the beef for?
Okay, so the beef we marinate literally for about
Liesl.
30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. You don't need more than that. And that should do it. So this is ready.
In a little jiffy bag.
Yeah, in a Ziploc bag. You can actually, if you don't have Ziploc bags, you can just stick it into a jar. Okay, so that's ready. I'm going to take this off. I'm actually going to serve this now.
Yay.
You can take it and stick it into a bowl. look at that. So this is quite nice. The noodles actually sit in it. In fact, let me get a spoon because these aren't very good at spoons. Get some really nice bits and pieces in there. There we go. No, guys, while I'm actually doing this, we're running a competition. Well, it's not a competition, it's actually a challenge.
A fun thing to do.
Fun thing to do. If you go onto our website, we have a challenge on producing a recipe from whatever you've got in your house. And whatever, yeah, we'll check out the recipes, we'll test some of them, and whichever recipe comes out on top, we'll publish on our website. In fact, we might even publish all of the recipes. So,
And make them.
yeah. Okay, so you can come in and have a
Thanks, Jess. Our beautiful marketing team.
Okay, so we've got our two dishes here. What we're going to do is I'm just going to take some of the spring onion and sprinkle a little bit of spring onion over that. Nice and fresh. We've got some roasted peanuts that we're going to stick on top.
wants stir fry now as well.
And then we've got a little bit of toasted sesame. There we go. Those are our dishes. And then last of all,
The egg.
we're going to take the egg. Separate that nicely. Whoops. Missing this one a little bit.
Oh my word, that's divine.
There we go. So there you have stir fry.
Who's coming over?
Stir fry beef with kimchi,
Oh my word. Okay, sorry guys, I gotta go now. I gotta
glass
eat.
noodles, and an egg. Right. So cheers, everyone. Have a good dinner, and please post on our website on our Facebook page what you'd like to see. We've got a couple of recipes that we're going to start putting out there. We're doing a butter chicken, a chicken cacciatore, but we'd like to also hear what you are wanting. I know Mia mentioned that we want to do some kids classes, so we're going to throw a kids class in every now and then.
Yes, Rach, I'll try, darling. You can so do that one.
And then, yeah, so please look at our challenge. Visit us every day at 5 o'clock. And if you can donate, please donate. It'll help a lot of people out there, even if it's a small amount. Okay, thanks very much. Have a fantastic evening.
Cheers.